Hey, what is going on? Hey, happy Halloween. How's everyone doing? Oh man, talk about technical difficulties. Oh man, I had a crazy idea to update all of my. I had a crazy idea to update basically everything on my machine 10 minutes before I went live. I was like, why not? That's what you would do right before you go live. And so I went through this whole thing of like, yeah, I would like to use a snap lens. Well, first of all, happy Halloween and welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, so I thought, well, maybe I can dress up. And then like, I didn't want to put in a ton of like real effort. So I put in a ton of like digital effort to figure this out. And yeah, so anyways, I went through, I updated this deck link thing I have, this quad HDMI input I have for my video cameras. And I thought like, yeah, that'll help out with my snap lens, because snap lens wasn't working. Long story short, it ends up being that snap lens isn't compatible with my deck link. So I was like, oh great, well, whatever, I'll go without. Then after that, the drivers I installed like totally removed my deck link, so I couldn't use it. So I found this other piece of hardware I used to use a long time ago from when I first started streaming, plugged it in, and SnapLens worked with it. So I was like, oh yeah, it does work. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's well. Man, let me know what you guys are working on this weekend. It's fine Saturday. That's Halloween. First of all, let's see. I think there were a couple of things going on while I was introing or getting set up that I saw that I want to call out that were just recently. CG, bass player, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Did You Tech, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Landamus, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Awareness, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. And waiting for the encore, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. So yeah, this beard actually turned out pretty good. I figured I have a lot of snap lenses I can use. And so I can either stick with this beard. I figured beard was kind of appropriate, beard and glasses, for people in the US to reminder to make sure you go out and vote. And then it's also kind of festive a little bit, but I might change it. There are lots of snap lenses I learned about. Hey, Shark Turn Up. Hey, thanks for the subscribe. Thank you so much, Tier 1. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, lights going too. It's a party in here. Oh, I can't believe I got this working. So I do apologize for being a little bit late. As you can tell, I had some technical difficulties, but it actually turned out for the better because if I didn't break my normal setup, I wouldn't have had the camera input to then use the snap lens. So I appreciate it. Hope everyone's doing good on this Saturday. Yeah, let me know what you guys are working on. Let's see here. First of all, hey, Yakub, hey, thanks. Happy Halloween. How's it going? Thank you. Ruffenbow. I'm gonna go with Ruffenbow. First time listening to your live stream and just joined your Discord. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining Discord. Thanks for joining the live stream too. I appreciate it. If you haven't been here before, it's a little more freeform, a little more relaxed, and actually it's probably more energy than my YouTube videos. I kind of do the opposite. People bring a lot of energy in YouTube and then save Twitch for chill. I do a little bit of the opposite. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or what, but so anyways, hey, thank you. And Patreon, you did support. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Man, all kinds of support. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go with Rothenbow. And if it's not that, let me know. I'll if you spell it phonetically, I'd love to pronounce it properly. So Techno, what's up, man? Hey, yo, how's it going, man? How's your PC doing? I've seen lots of pictures, looking pretty awesome. You got some RGB in there too. Yeah, man. Let me know how your PC's turning out. Shark Turn Up. Happy Halloween. Appreciate it. Takano, fully built into the new case. Hoping to upgrade to a curved monitor soon. Nice, man. Nice. I think curved monitors are awesome. I want one. I just can't afford one right now. What curved monitor are you thinking of going with? Because I think curved are awesome, especially for like video editing for sure, or anything video. I feel like you can fit so much more on them. And most of the time they're like extra wide too. So yeah. Yeah, let me know, man. What monitor are you going with? Home Lab New, how's it going? Stream Hype, how you doing? Rough and Bow, I gotta get this right. Building a Ryzen server to virtualize everything. Nice. Which Ryzen are you going with? Yeah, I'd love to know. And what are you gonna put on that server? Curious. Yeah, there's my bot. Yeah, I realize now I'm just gonna spin up the bot on this local machine every time before I start until I figure out my network stuff. I'm amidst a huge network upgrade, if you couldn't tell. And I guess what you saw from the video was only just the hardware part. So I've been doing the software part for a long time now. I feel like forever, but I'm learning tons about networking and VLANs and stuff I didn't really have in my tool belt before. So it's kind of awesome, but at the same time, man, it's a lot to keep track of. Maybe I've segmented my network too far, but I don't think so. I'm definitely not over optimizing or trying not to over optimize, but I do have specific virtual networks or networks in general that need to be separated from each other. So anyways, long story short, I've been working on a lot of network stuff, and that's why I haven't fully put my bot back on the network he should belong on. Well, he is 99% of the time, but not during the stream because he can't reach my IoT stuff, and I didn't feel like writing that very specific firewall rule yet until I had my VLAN straightened out. So yeah, Techno, also waiting for Black Friday, Cyber Monday to get some deals on parts. Nice. Yeah, doesn't Black Friday like start tomorrow? Seems like every year Black Friday is earlier and earlier, and now I think it's the month of November. So you might be lucky and get some early deals starting tomorrow. I would check. I know that I think Target always has, and they're not a good place to buy tech. Well, they're getting better. But they start their deals now November 1st. It's all November and different deals every day and every week. I think Walmart's doing the same. Not that you buy a lot of your gear there, but you'd be surprised in their marketplace stuff, how cheap stuff gets sometimes too, because they both have marketplaces now. But yeah, I'm sure Newegg, Micro Center, Amazon, I'm sure they're all going to join in. Black Friday now starts November 1st. I mean, not the true, deals you get, but a lot of the deals too. So yeah, let's see here. Takano, want to upgrade the GPU first, then a CPU to a Ryzen 5 or 7. So what GPU, especially after all the news with, AMD and their new GPUs? Yeah, what are you going to go with? Curious. And then Ryzen 5 or 7, I think both are super solid choices. And this is your main desktop PC now, right? So that I think either are fantastic for sure. Home Lab New, happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah, happy Halloween. I should switch my lens at some point, but I enjoy this beard. Like it works out pretty good. Like it's on point. It's so weird. It's so good. I mean, how well the augmented reality works. I was just talking about how nice the augmented reality is on UDM Pro and the Unify network. Man, this is definitely has a beat. But you guys know that with anything with Snap. Mr. USA, yeah. I'll change it out here in a little bit. Kind of a little play on Halloween, as well as if you're in the US, go out and vote. Please vote. Let's see here. Mad Morgan. Hey, finally, I've caught one of the live streams. I'm sorry. If this is your first one, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not usually like this, but like I said, I'm just just trying to mix it up for Halloween and for everything else going on here in the States. Easton, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Crazy Glue. Act Techno Tim, thanks for the vids. You got me to switch from bare metal FreeNAS with crappy VMs. Sorry, I gotta plug. I gotta filter it. Keep it family safe. With crappy, you don't have to, but I will. With crappy VMs, to throwing Proxmox on there, spinning up 3 VMs and doing a GPU pass through and all of the rest. Wow, you went from 0 to 60 really fast. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome, and I hope I keep delivering on content that is interesting. And that's useful and practical that you can do stuff like that with. That is so awesome. So you went from bare metal FreeNAS, yeah, with their VMs, to then turning it upside down. Yeah, and that's what I did too. I was like, well, FreeNAS is a good NAS, but it's not a great hypervisor, at least in my opinion. So I did the same thing and flipped it all around and said, nope, I want my hypervisor first, and then put everything else on there. So that's really awesome. What GPU did you use? Curious. To get it working. I'm betting it's something NVIDIA. Linux Tux. I'm working on a Nginx in Nextcloud in my server. Nice, yeah. Nextcloud, yeah. I run Nextcloud here. I kind of briefly talked about it. I will have something coming soon. I haven't done it. I mean, it's been in my back pocket for a while. A lot of people have asked for it, and I always think to myself, well, it's just like most of my other tutorials, except for a couple other variables, but some people like to be, they like to listen and learn as I talk, I guess, maybe. But I should have something soon. But Linux Tux, that's awesome. Nginx, Nextcloud, awesome. So you got your reverse proxy in front of Nextcloud. I assume then your reverse proxy is maybe doing SSL and stuff like that, but definitely routing then to Nextcloud. How do you like it so far? I've been using Nextcloud for a little while. Basically for me, it's just a glorified Dropbox replacement. And I know they have lots of other features. I know they have things to compete with Google Docs and Hangouts and stuff like that. I haven't ventured that far yet, but I definitely do love it for the Dropbox-esque like feature that they have, because it's super nice to be able to give someone a link and say, download this 300 meg file versus hey, email or whatever. Put something in Gmail and then or in Google Drive and then make it public temporarily or authorize someone and take up that space. But yeah, let me know how you like it. Looks like we had a follow in there. Hibiscus. Oh man, Hibskids. I'm gonna go with Hibskids69. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Crazy Glue, random question. I set up Rancher with Ubuntu and got Traffic SSL working great. Nice, man, that's a tough one. You were going all out. I can access some of the published services externally, like Docker, Registry, GitLab, random website, etc. What I can't figure out is getting non-HTTPS services to pass through correctly, like a Minecraft server. Anything special I need to do traffic, load balancer, etc. Yeah, this question, I think this question even came up yesterday. So there's a couple of things. So one, traffic is really good. So traffic, first and foremost, is a reverse proxy. And it can handle more, but typically it handles HTTP traffic, the protocol. So HTTP or HTTPS. You can have it or get MetalLB to route TCP and UDP stuff for you too. Typically in those scenarios, how do I put this? In those scenarios where I just am hosting a service where I just need to expose some TCP IP ports, you can do the easy thing and just do port forwarding to that. But that's not always fun. So another thing you can do is, hey, Clarkio, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. So another thing you can do is just, instead of doing port forwarding and exposing a node port, you can also set up additional endpoints on MetalLB and then expose on those new endpoints TCP ports and UDP ports. And that sounds super complicated, but we literally just talked about this yesterday in our Discord, and there's a couple of links in there. So Crazy Glue, if you haven't already, definitely join the Discord. And if not, I can probably try to post some links here later. But we just talked about this in Discord. XOR had the same question, and it was for Minecraft doing the exact same thing you're doing. So yeah, I advise you to join because there's links in there. If not, we can figure out a way to get links to you. But yeah, great question. Great question. And it looks like you've already done a lot of the hard work, so you are definitely on your way. Takano, currently don't know what monitor I'm going with, just looking around. Yeah, let me know. I'm always curious what people choose. I actually love it when when people do the research for me for those types of things. I'm kidding. Nah, not really. But yeah, let me know, because I'm always curious about what hardware people choose. I assume that most people choose it and they have, an opinion as to why they chose it. Sometimes it's price, value, features, size, anything like that. So I would love to know why, because you can do part of that research for the rest of us. But yeah, let me know, man. And you don't have to share it either. I love understanding why people choose certain things, for sure. PC Geek, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Shark Turn Up. I have many VLANs, and I always ask if I have too many, but I never do. Yeah, I think someone gave me the tip too here in chat before I started going into this. It might have been in Discord, it might have been in chat here on Twitch. Just saying, hey, don't over optimize and don't create too many VLANs at first. And so that's kind of what I did. I basically followed It's My Natural Color. He has the greatest, I think, guide on YouTube right now for configuring VLANs with a UDM. And I went up with his guide and I'm like, cool, that's all I need, but I actually need more. So anyways, this morning is when I started creating my 2 additional VLANs and then 1 legacy VLAN, because I have some old stuff on a old subnet that I just basically ported over. But as I get some new stuff here in a little bit, I'm gonna be migrating some of my legacy VLAN stuff to my new VLAN stuff. So anyways, learning a ton. But yeah, I tried not to over optimize. Sometimes I do that in the beginning. I think we're all guilty of that. Over optimize, try to think of all the possible things that could go wrong, do it all up front, and then realize later, man, maybe I went too far. But like you said, Shark Turn Up, yeah, you never do. So I appreciate that too. Takano, but super stoked on how the PC turned out. The sleeve cables turned out really well. Went with a black and white build since it's clean and sleek and it goes with my RGB color. Yeah, I agree. I saw that in Discord. Looks fantastic. Like, I love it. Like, I think I saw 2 pictures. One was the white look and had a cool blue or a cool white RGB going, RGB lights. It's so funny. I always say RGB, like, hey, this is green RGB. And it's like, if you think about it, the acronym is just, it doesn't make sense. This is green, red, blue, green. Or red, green, blue. Anyways, I do it all the time and I catch myself and I'm just like, whatever, RGB lights. Anyways, that's totally an aside. Looks awesome. I love the blue. I love the purplish pink too. It looked fantastic. And I agree. I have a black and white PC case here and I think they're great because then like any color you change it, it just kind of like morphs into that as well. So yeah, looking very nice. But I'm thinking more of a pink purplish setup. Nice. I got a neon sign, but it started to overheat my PSU. Took a closer look at the cables and they were shorting out. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Anytime you have anything shorting out or on fire or too warm in a PC case is not good. So hopefully you figured that out. The PC Geek, Go Zen 7. Any X variant should be good. Yeah, I think so. Man, that's so many cores. I love it. I'm so jealous of people getting to build, new Ryzen builds now. Or even Ryzen builds in general, because I've had my Intel build here for about 3 years, and I'm kind of like, it's about that time, but we'll see. Sorry, I got a cough. Let's see here. Ruffenbow, Ryzen 7 server with 4 8TB hard drives, and oh man, the suspense. That alone is sounds awesome. How much RAM? And are you going with registered ECC RAM? Yeah, curious. Software Rat. I'm working on a server deal for a 230-240 with an 8-core Xeon with 24 gigs of RAM and 8 and 12 terabytes of ZFS storage. That is nice. So server, 230, 240 bucks, euros, and an 8-core Xeon. Sounds awesome. So low power, sounds efficient, and 24 gigs of RAM. And 12 terabytes of ZFS storage. That sounds like a nice little workhorse too. So maybe an efficiency play there too with 8 cores. The PC Geek, my 3800X is great for just what I got. Great. Oh well, let's do this again. Can't read today. It's these glasses. I don't have my other glasses on underneath here. I can put my glasses underneath. Oh man, I just ruined it. I can put glasses underneath glasses, but that didn't look too good. So I'm gonna have to squint here in a little bit. But you guys can't tell. PC Geek, my 3800X is great that I just got. Nice, man. You guys are making me jealous. All these hardware purchases. Yeah, and all these builds coming up. I'm sure like in a month from now, everyone will be talking about these awesome machines they are building or have built because of Black Friday. Yeah, because what, a month from now would be, yeah, Thanksgiving weekend, roughly. Techno, thinking of some new AMD GPUs that were released. They seem super good for the price. I agree. Like, all their marketing material looks fantastic. It makes me kind of reconsider my choices, a lot of my life choices in general. But yeah, all the marketing material that they've released on both their GPUs and CPUs are just, it looks fantastic. I mean, it looks like gloom and doom for Intel and NVIDIA. It's like, you know, AMD's fighting two wars, you know, fighting a war on the CPU front and then fighting a war on GPU front against two ginormous companies. And it seems like they're winning, at least according to what we've seen so far. So yeah, I'm super happy for them. I'm super happy for them. Dada 513, hi, how's it going? How you doing? Easton, I'm doing well. Just trying to work, go to school, plan a wedding. Wow, it's been crazy. Glad to be back here for a live stream. I've been watching them afterwards, but miss being here live. Hey, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I've been bad the last, I think, 3 streams about getting those uploaded, but I appreciate it. And you can always watch them on Twitch here too. But man, crazy busy. That sounds real busy. Work, school, and planning a wedding. Yeah, all yeah, high stress, highly engaged activities for sure. Planning a wedding too is I wouldn't say super stressful. It's just a lot of work. There's just like so many decisions you have to make, you know. I mean, some decisions are made for you, but a lot of the times they're just, I mean, there are so many details and you can go crazy planning everything. I think my wife and I just got to the point at the end where we're like, is what it is. We thought about everything we can think about. Now we just need to just let it all happen. And fortunately, everything turned out good. So I'm sure it'll turn out good for you. Glad you're here. And yeah, glad you're here to be here live with everyone here in chat. Mad Morgan, you have got more into Proxmox. You've got me more into Proxmox. Awesome. Yeah, I think Proxmox is a fantastic hypervisor. I don't know. I'm a huge fan. And I know there are other great ones out there. I've used a ton of them. But yeah, I'm super happy with the way it's turned out and what it's been able to help me do for my own infrastructure. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Harvest Core, yo, what's up? Crazy Glue. I'm using a GTX 950. My buddy has a GPT-2 powered chatbot that we are gonna try to run on it, but we ran into memory issues. Turns out 2 gigs of VRAM is not enough for GPT-2. Well, oh man, that sounds interesting. So he has a GPT-2 powered chatbot. That's awesome. Surprising too that 2 gigs of RAM isn't enough for that. I need to know more about GPT-2. But yeah, that sounds awesome. Again, super surprised that that's not enough RAM. I feel like I should change my lens. What should my lens be next? You guys want to help me change my lens? Here, let me do this. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we have the whole entire Snap Lens catalog. You're not gonna be able to see where I would be right now, but I was kind of thinking of, and I'll get back to chat here in a second. I want to do something more festive for Halloween. So if you haven't seen this, this is Snap Lens. Runs on Mac, Windows, and you can use it as a camera. You can take a camera source, apply a Snap Lens, and then use that camera source in your app. So it's super fun on Zoom. I think the one on Zoom that was a hit the other day was this one. This one's actually pretty awesome. I think this is honestly my best look. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Should I go with this one or should I go with another one? I think I should go with something more Halloween themed. And this one doesn't look so good with the hat. Let me pick something Halloween because it is Halloween. But at the same time, this cancels out my background, but I kind of like it. One second. Let's go. I haven't looked at all these Halloween ones. I want something. I'll go with this one for a minute. This one might be a little too creepy. Is this too creepy? Or is this okay? Anyone freaked out? You won't be able to see the lights behind me. I'm gonna go with something else. Let me see here. Give me something. No. Here we go. You can get lost in like Snapchat's filters. Mad Scientist? Should I do Mad Scientist for a minute? I think I will. I think I'll go with this. You can kind of see my hat. You can kind of see my hat. All right, I'll go with this for a minute because then at least you can kind of see the lights a little bit. Let's go with this. Let's go with this for a minute. I gotta take off my hat. I gotta plan accordingly. All right. Go with something for a little more Halloween. All right, so where was I? Mad Morgan. All right, Crazy Glue. GTX 950. Here we go. Yeah. This one a little better? All right, this one's a little more Halloween festive, and you can kind of still see the lights in the background. This is what I feel like most days, trying to write code and do all kinds of stuff. Anyways, so let's see here. Crazy Glue, I'm using the GTX 950. My buddy has it. Oh, we read that. T-Lias, do you have any experience on mail server with mail who, mail cow, or iRedadmin? You can tell I don't have experience with the last one because I can't even pronounce it. So T-Lias, I don't. I've seen mail cow. I've heard of mail cow. I haven't heard of mail who, but I don't. I haven't found a great need to run a mail server here in my home. I might at some point, but yeah, not yet. So man, this one turned out okay. I'll try to look directly in because then the eyes look a little bit better. But I should probably move chat over here. Man, I'm really mixing it up today. I don't have any experience with it. I should probably at some point. What do I have in my hand? Sparks? Can I do stuff with this? Oh yeah. Man, do I seriously? I'm getting distracted. Can it? No. Oh, I lost it. I like this though. I'm gonna hold this up here. But Telias, I don't have any experience. At some point, I would like to do some more. Especially MailCow. I hear a lot of people talking about that. But I don't have anything personally to share yet. What are you most interested in out of all of those? MailWho, MailCow, or iRedadmin? That one's tough to pronounce. Software Rat. Hey, how's it going? I have heard yesterday that a hacker group is reverse engineering CPU code, so you can have Intel's code open source with all the CPUs that are released in a process to release, which is cool. You can overclock a CPU with locked multiplier and edit microcode so you can speed up your PC. Intel only. Interesting. I wonder if that started to leak after they released all their microcode updates. For what was the recent vulnerability? Anyways, yeah, that's interesting. Kind of scary at the same time. But probably good. Probably bad for their business, but good for the world, for sure. Hey, PC Geek, thanks for the Discord link. King Larnus. Hi Tim, first time here. Really like your videos. Thank you. I was wondering if you're a DevOps engineer for a living. No, actually, I'm a software engineer. It's kind of crazy. I do all of this infrastructure stuff at home. Do some DevOps at work. Some DevOps at home. But no, my day-to-day is writing a lot of code, solving business problems with code, building UIs, building some backends, and all of that. So no, I'm actually, I'm super interested in DevOps, because I kind of have to be if I want my code to get deployed out to production really fast. I work for a small startup now, and so we still don't have that role to this day. So we all kind of share that responsibility. But I have worked at larger companies where, I help, just spread that culture a little bit, because it was up to individual teams to implement a lot of that stuff. So no, I'm not. I just, I write a lot of code, solve a lot of problems with code, and, DevOps, I guess, and infrastructure stuff are my hobby, amongst other hobbies. But yeah, a great question. No, I bounced around a lot in my career, so I've got to do a lot of different things. Mad Morgan, thank you for doing that YouTube video on MySQL. I was having issues in Rancher. Yeah, no problem at all. That one, I feel like a couple of videos I've done recently are very polarizing. I feel like that one for sure. A lot of people were like, yeah, if you don't care about your data, put your database in Kubernetes. And other people were like, this is fantastic. So Jury's still out on that one. I think it is great if you can run it in HA and you have persistence and everything's working. But a lot of people mention just performance concerns. To me, it's not important because I'm not running, a database that has super incredible transactions. So for me, I was just kind of like, well, this is a great place to put it because I don't need to manage a VM anymore. Wolf Norak, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. See here, waiting for the Encore. Built my very first PC recently. I decided to go all out and put in a server case and use it for virtualization. Yes. Ryzen 9, wow, you went all out, you're right. Ryzen 9, 3900 XT, 128 gigs of RAM, and an X570 board with 10 gigabit Ethernet. Wow, you did go all out. All was going well until I tried passing my P2200 into Windows, kept crashing, Proxmox, and throwing into a boot loop. Eventually, everything settled on virtualizing using Hyper-V until my 3080 arrives so I can have a second card in the system. I'll try Proxmox again, but for now, Hyper-V is working well. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm all for it. I've used Hyper-V in the past. It was fantastic. I just didn't have a great way to pass through consumer cards, which, with the P2000 or a is that 2200? Yeah, that's what is that? NVIDIA grid card, right? Quadro, there we go. But yeah, so it must have been super easy. But anyways, congrats on the awesome build. That's super awesome. I want me some of that. I don't know why I get this cough every time I start streaming on Saturdays. I think it's because I don't say much during the day and all of a sudden I'm just like yelling. So let's see here. You know what? I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit more. What are we going to go with now? Something more creepy? This might be too creepy for people. I don't know. I'll read a couple like this. We'll see how it goes. This is super emo too. All right, I'm going to do it for a minute because it's Halloween. I mean, why not? Waiting for the Encore. Been following along with all your videos and learning loads. Thanks for the content. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm super glad it's helpful because that's all I want to do is honestly is just help people and have some fun along the way. I'm learning this stuff as I go. I mean, most of the stuff I've done in some form or fashion before, but some of the stuff I'm learning as I go. So I appreciate that. And I'm glad you're learning too, for sure. Linux Ducks. I kept enjoying Nextcloud until now. Love the new dashboard feature in version 20. Nice. I've heard lots of good things about version 20, at least in their marketing. Yeah. Crazy Glue, found the link. I'll check it out. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you should find your answer in there because we were just talking about that. Linux Ducks, could you recommend me a kind of web-based Samba dashboard? I hate the manual config. Ooh. SMB, so I agree. I hate the web config, the config too. Oh yeah, PC Geek is just shouted out Webmin. That's really the only GUI I've ever used to configure Samba. I've always done it by config files too, and it really sucks. There might be something better out there, but yeah, Webmin. I do wish that there was something a little more lightweight too, because Webmin is like configure all the things on Linux. So yeah, I'm curious. Let me know if you find something too. Share it in Discord because I'd love to know. Hibskids. Hey man, love your videos on YouTube. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Got a question for you. Is OpenVPN easy to hack even if you change the port number? I don't know that OpenVPN is easy to hack. So you can improve security by a couple ways. One is, not share your certificate with people or your client config. And then two, on top of that, use a strong password for your users. I don't know that OpenVPN is, I would say, easy, air quotes, easy. Can I get air there? I'm fading in. Easy to hack. Otherwise, I don't think a lot of companies would be using it. So is there something inherently insecure about OpenVPN? I don't think so. I think it becomes insecure if you don't configure it properly. So I'm gonna go with that. But there are other VPN solutions out there, as a lot of people say. WireGuard and stuff like that too. Techno ended up opening a return. Ended up opening a return. Should be getting a new one tomorrow. Just to have send the broken one back. It was meant to go outside the case and it was being powered off to a USB. Oh, this was about the burning, the fried port. Nice. Rough and Bow. Ryzen 9 3900X, 64 gigs of DDR4. Man, you guys are building some killer systems. So jealous. No route. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, no beard anymore. I'm too beyond the beard, so that means I got to catch up for sure. Hipskids, and is there a way you can add 2FA to it? 2FA to OpenVPN. Someone would have to let me know because when I used OpenVPN, I didn't have 2FA. I'm sure it might be possible. I don't know off the top of my head. Another great question for Discord, for sure. Rough and Bow, power supply arriving today. Nice. The PC Geek, no 2FA for OpenVPN. Here we go. But since it needs a key to log in, you can just revoke the cert from your server and you should lose a device with the client cert on it. Yeah, I was kind of right. And on top of that, yeah, use super secure password for that client config though too. Ellis, hi, how's it going? Codamus time, nice effects, thank you. PC Geek, I've been using it for years. With just the port open and no problems. If you're worried about port scans, you can change the external port to something else. Just configure it in the client too. PC Geek, great advice there. The painter. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah. So yeah, totally agree. Yeah, all good advice for sure. And you know the thing is with like changing the default port, sure. Like you know, I don't know. Do I change the default port for some things? Sure. But if someone's doing a port scan and you're actually not even checking that they're doing a port scan, they'll find the port. So yeah, I totally agree. Like, you know, but again, it is security through obscurity, which is not the greatest. So, you know, if you are depending on just your port being different, I would highly recommend doing some other things too. You layer on that security for sure. Let's see here. Can't wait to include can't wait to order a 5900X next week. Nice. Yeah, man, you guys are building some awesome stuff. Hibskid. Okay, thanks, man. Nice. Doob HV. Hey, do you work for YouTube full time? Absolutely not. No, I don't. I'm not a full-time content creator. I am actually a full-time software engineer. I just do this stuff for fun and because I like it and because every time I get bored, I just create a new hobby. And so I've always, well, like, you know, long story short, I've always been semi-interested in creating content. I'm not great at it. Ever since, like, I remember being a kid and my grandfather had like a camcorder. I just love recording stuff with it and editing stuff, even on a, you know, directly on the camera. So it was always kind of fun to me. And, you know, I'm super interested in tech and I like talking with people that share some of my interests because I'm not able to find people that share the same interests as me, as most of these people in this chat. So I thought it was a good opportunity to put some content out there, build a community, talk to some people, and yeah, learn a lot from other people as much as some people say they learn from me. But I think in this journey so far, I've learned way more than I've ever even known about most of the stuff I'm talking about now. So yeah, it's kind of a 2-for-1 for me, but no, YouTube is definitely not my full-time job. I just started it 9 months ago. 9 or 10 months ago was my first video. So this is all new to me. Everything I do, I'm learning every time. Every time you see something different in a video, I just learned it that week. Not the content itself, but some of the techniques and stuff like that. But no, yeah, thanks for asking. Nope, not my full-time job. Would I like it to be someday? I'm not sure. I like the variety. You know, I like to mix it up. I like being a software engineer and having that as a career and working on a team of people for a small company doing cool things. So I really enjoy that. Doing content full-time, I don't know, might be tough sometime, but who knows? We'll see. Check back in a year. Linux Ducks, thank you, but in my mind, it's a little bit overkill. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, this might be about builds. That was in reply to. Sorry, I can't see replies the greatest in OBS. No route. I just found a swollen LiPo battery. advice on what to do with it. I have no idea. Get rid of it. Yeah, that sounds scary. Because if they bulge, you know, isn't the next thing? Do they bulge because they get too hot, and then after that, it's no good? Yeah, fortunately, I haven't experienced that. I do get scared about some of my UPS batteries and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's the type of battery that's in a UPS. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I would say stop using it because I don't think they're supposed to bulge. Include no love Proxmox. Yeah, me too. PC Geek, you probably find other uses for Webmin eventually, though. I vaguely recall there being a Sama Webmin built in too. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Webmin. I used to install Webmin every time I installed a Linux server because I was like, I don't know how to do anything in Linux. And I mean, I'm talking about like Ubuntu 4.10 or something. I think it was 4.10. It was way back. And I was like, I had no idea how to do anything. And I was like, oh, sweet, Webmin is a nice way to configure all that. And then they had all these cool themes, and I was loving it. But yeah, I haven't done it in a while. I do remember them having a Samba plugin too. And it was super legit, you know, because you're filling in forms instead of config. And so it will do the validation for you, which is another reason why I like UIs, because it can validate stuff before you break stuff. Include no, my phone battery is swollen. If I can get it fixed soon, I'll get a razor and then I'm going to do it myself. Phone battery, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, phone battery, not good. My phone battery sucks, but mine's not swollen. Could be swollen, but it's not showing any signs. Tagano, thinking Ryzen 5 3600 XT with an ASRock B450 Steel Legend motherboard. And 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RGB RAM Pro. Man, awesome. Awesome build, man. Awesome. Super excited for you. We got to see some performance too. Some performance, some metrics once you get that done. Hibs kids. But if it's the only port open, people can, if it's the only port open, then people can no finger it out eventually until they use a port scan. Yeah, port scan. I agree. Port scan, because like, you're going to hide it off the default port and someone really wants to know, they run a port scan on your machine. So then you should probably run something that checks to see if people are doing port scans and then block them. Totally agree. Or at least, look at the logs to see that people are doing port scans and then take action yourself, but I'd rather have it automatically. Takano, the 6800 GPU, nice. Yeah, this is the scary one. Should I switch it up again? I kind of feel like I should switch it up again. I gotta keep it fresh. So I'm gonna go with, I'm having way too much fun with these snap lenses and I need to get them all out now because like, I guess, you know, it wouldn't make sense to do this on November 1st. It kind of makes sense on Halloween. I'm gonna go with my working from home head towel. There we go. I like this one. I think this is my best look, honestly. I think this is my best look. So we'll do this for a minute. Let me get a drink. Don't look at my lipstick when I drink because it doesn't really show up that well. Isn't that crazy? It totally can. So weird. And the lipstick is like so precise. Like, do I have lipstick on my teeth? Do I have lipstick on my teeth, anyone? Isn't that so crazy? How precise it is? Oh, anyways, okay. Sorry, I got a cough. Okay, PC Geek, it's an SSL port, which only goes to your VPN server on the same port, so it's just gonna get rejected by the server if they don't have a matching certificate. Thank you, PC Geek, yeah. The certs have to match on both ends, plus the server cert, yes. Thank you, sir. The PC Geek, no problem. Turnkey Linux is a great way to get started with it. They have an open VPN build that's already that's ready to go, or you can use OpenVPN Access Server too. Nice, man. You have all the answers today. Loving it. It used to be SWAT that was part of Samba. Samba Web Admin Tool. I don't know if it's still around. Yeah, that sounds interesting to me because yeah, like man, Samba config is like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not fun. I mean, most configs suck. Seems like a lot of them are going to YAML 2, which has its own validation too. So, you know, it's white space sensitive, so it kind of stinks. But yeah, I'm all for GUIs to help do that validation. It's easy when you get to copy and paste something that's already there and works. It's not so easy when you got to write it yourself, for sure. Hibs kids. I was going to do it with my pfSense router to try. What's your thoughts on that? Oh, with pfSense to run OpenVPN there? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea because that's on your edge. That's your edge of your network. I think that's a great place for it, and that's a tried and true solution and combination too. The PC Geek, yeah, pfSense would be great since it sits right on the router. It's very secure too. Yeah, we're I can't do that. I can't do the whole eye thing. But oh man, you caught a little bit of my hair. Better not do that again. Yeah, we're on the same wave. Hibs kids, cool. Could do it on a Pi as well, but I think if you do, you're restricted on pfSense. And anyway, yeah, and depending on which Pi model you have, it has to encrypt a lot of that traffic too. So if you do it on a Pi, don't do it on a Pi Zero because you might get slower performance because of that processor. I mean, I may or may not be wrong, but yeah. I enjoy putting it on the edge if you can because it's just there. It's doing the same type of work. You don't have to port forward anything. And pfSense has a great plugin for it. Yeah, PC Geek, we are on it, man. pfSense would be a better performance and easier to route to remote clients and private networks and back anyways. If you use another PC like you do, you need a couple of static routes and set up for it to work. Yeah, for sure. Finnegan. Oh, Finnegan McGinnigan. I haven't seen your name in a while. On the topic of SQL Server, may want to check CockroachDB. Okay, yeah, I've heard about it a little bit. We use it at work, and if memory serves, there are some inherent benefits with Kubernetes with it. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I haven't heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it, haven't used it. I'll have to check it out for sure. If it's the only reason, one of the reasons I choose, one of the reasons that I choose MySQL is because a lot of the services I use require MySQL. Now I know I can use MariaDB and it's a drop-in replacement and the API is mostly the same. But I don't know much about CockroachDB. If it's a drop-in for MySQL, drop-in replacement for MySQL and plays well with Kubernetes, sounds like it might be a match. I'll have to check it out. Might be worth a video. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, I'll have to check it out though. I gotta add this to my notes. 1 second. I have my piece of paper here. Show notes. La cucaracha. Cucaracha DB. All right. Cockroach DB. Talias. About the mail server. I would guess a solution would be deployable to Kubernetes. Most of the complete email solutions move to Docker, not all Kates though. Yeah. But I think anything you can do, most of the stuff you can do in Docker, you can do in Kubernetes too. You're not going to get HA or any of that stuff, but the things that are Docker only, most of the time aren't going to be anyways. But yeah, I'll have to check it out. I mean, you can run almost anything in Kubernetes that you can in Docker. I think all the flags are there. You just got to find them and put them in the right place. PC Geek, I think SWAT is dead now, which stinks. Yeah, that stinks. Penguin Airlines, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. The Painter, issues passing a Z-Wave Conb stick through to Proxmox HA VM. Any ideas? Doesn't show up in LSUS, LSUSB. Z-Wave Conb stick through Proxmox HA VM. Any ideas? No, I mean, I'll be the first to say I haven't passed through any USB devices to any of my virtual machines. I've done PCI devices, plenty of PCI devices, but I haven't done any USB devices. I'm sure there are people here that have done it, and I think the PC Geek might have done it too, because I think we talked about this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago in Discord. I haven't done it, but maybe someone in here has. And if you know, feel free to shout it out to the Painter. Penguin Airlines, so your house burned down, Tim. You can come haunt mine if you want. I work from home, so I'm here a lot and you won't be so lonely. All right, yeah. Maybe I'll swing by. I'll swing by. I have to put on another ghoulish lens here soon. Home Avenue, you could also use WireGuard, which doesn't respond to any unauthenticated traffic, not even during the handshake. Yeah, now we're getting into some advanced solutions now too. But honestly, OpenVPN or WireGuard using certificate-based auth is super solid. Totally agree. There are very widely deployed technologies that are very well audited. Thank you, HomeLab New. Twitch 3204, a new hobby. That's so me. I have so many LOL. Yeah, I do too. Every time I get bored with what I'm doing, I figure out something else. And it's always, it's not too far away from tech. It's always like, okay, I'm like patting my hair now as if my hair is really wet. I do the same thing too, but it's always like, it's 1 degree away from tech. So it's like, you know, I enjoyed, when I first started streaming, I streamed a lot of games, but I enjoyed the tech that went behind streaming. I was like, what is this OBS? What is NVENC encoder? How do I encode streams? You know, how does this whole thing work? And it's kind of the same thing with YouTube too. I'm like, okay, maybe I can teach some tech, learn some tech, do some tech, and learn how to edit videos at the same time. And you know, a lot of the stuff I do. So I kind of always, new hobbies I pick up are, you know, tech plus something else. So yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of hobbies now. I need to reel it in. Pizza Geek, I stand corrected. I see that there may be a script you can use to auth with Okta, OAuth, OpenVPN. It takes a lot to set up though. It looks like nice. Yeah, Okta, OAuth to do 2-factor auth. I think with OpenSense, that's interesting. Penguin Airlines, I'm sure Okta's got a lot of interoperability in their APIs. Nice, thank you guys. The PC Geek, usually a simple username and a strong password, plus the client cert would be okay. Yeah. Black VQ, oh yeah, how's it going? Your name again? I'll get this right. Black VQ 35HR. How's it going? Good to see you. In regards to your Linux video, would you recommend doing these same steps on a Raspberry Pi? Yeah. So those things that I do, basically any Linux machine. You know, and you can choose your own adventure on some of those. I mean, some wouldn't make sense, right? Static IP depends on its job. A lot of my servers have a static IP, right? So I would assign it. So you have to go through each point and say, like, is this something I want to adopt for this new machine I'm spinning up? With a Raspberry Pi, I do the same thing. I did the same thing on that Pi back there. You know, is setting up all of those things. And also the fail to ban one is kind of, you know, if you're going to turn on SSH, I would recommend turning on fail to ban. But fail to ban isn't great at catching key-based authentication because you never get challenged for a password. Therefore, it never logs that challenge. So therefore, it can never block. So if you're going to go password-based authentication for SSH, yeah, I would absolutely turn on fail to ban and install it and configure it. If you're not going to, key-based is very strong. So especially key-based with a strong username and password together is very strong. I mean, very similar to what OpenVPN's doing. But yeah, I would personally, and you know, it's kind of choose your adventure. Each one of those numbers decide, like, is this something I need to do for this, depending on the workload. But yeah, great question. NoRal, LOL. Netstat, oh man, someone's pasting some commands in here. I like it. Better than passwords, because if you paste your password in here, it happens a lot. We're gonna rate your password. Penguin Airlines, I think you should keep this look. Make it a full-time thing. I don't know if you mean this look because I'm a little bit behind. But yeah, I'll keep it around. We'll see. We'll see if it'll make a comeback. Penguin Airlines, but yeah, surprisingly, they are really cool. Keeping up with the lips and talking and moving around left and right, etc. Yeah, it's so, yeah, I can't believe like the perspective and like the lipstick. Like I can't even move my lips fast enough to where the lipstick moves. See, like look how. Anyways, I could do this all day because it's just I'm amazed by it. Mr. Butters OG, do you think Docker containers are good for running minigame servers for Minecraft? So I'm not super familiar with minigame servers for Minecraft. My perspective is usually if it has a Docker container, I'm going to use a Docker container. Mainly because I just don't want to deal with a whole entire virtual machine or config on a virtual machine or have to worry about what's getting written where, how I back up things, how I network to this thing, what ports are exposed, what ports does it need. You know, all of those things get taken care of with Docker. You know, if you're going to map a volume, you know it's going to read or write here. If it exposed some ports, and you don't expose those with Docker, it's not going to be able to communicate with anything, at least incoming. And the same with, config. Where's it writing stuff? How do I back this stuff up? And so I usually lean heavy towards Docker because I don't have to think about any of that anymore. I just look at the interface, look at the commands for Docker, and translate that. And if I'm doing Kubernetes or Rancher or whatever, or if I'm doing Swarm or whatever I'm doing, translate that into whatever platform I'm going to use. And that might be extreme. I don't mean to say like Docker, use Docker for everything, because I found it makes some things harder. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Mr. Craworth. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. But I tend to start with Docker instead of the other way around, because I've just found it's so much easier to manage, to back up, and to move and make portable, and even make upgrade. I mean, upgrade is as simple as redeploy with a new tag. If you're using latest, you got the next tag anyways. And if you're using Watchtower, you get it all the time. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of containerization. Doesn't mean everyone should be or has to be, but I start with Docker. I'll put it that way. I start with Docker and I work my way backwards. Okay, does it have a Docker container? Yes, no? Okay, it has one. I'm going to start with that. Is it too complicated, or is it jacking up networking, or is it doing something I really don't want it to do? Then I'll look towards, other solutions like a virtual machine. But at the end of the day, I don't want to manage a ton of virtual machines. I'm fine with managing some. And I, could put some automation in place to help script a lot of this with installs and removals and upgrades. But with Docker, it's super easy. Anyways, I'm on my soapbox now, but hopefully that helps, Mr. Butters OG. Talias, if I had to match your filter with a specific technology, I would say this one would definitely be GraphQL. Okay. Why would it be GraphQL? Because it's just all crazy? Or because of the client-side queries? Does this towel scream client-side logic? I don't know. Hopefully that's the one. So Linux Tux 23. I found a plugin for Samba config with the cockpit web dashboard on GitHub. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah. Codamus time. You took Visual Studio. I took Visual Studio. Where did I take it? So I'm not sure what you're asking, but I do use VS Code. I used to use Visual Studio, the full-blown one, for a long time, and that thing was a beast. And not like beast mode, good beast. It was a beast. Like, that thing is huge. So anyways, I use VS Code all day, every day now for lots of things, and even non-code stuff, because I think it's fantastic. But the editor or IDE is really going to be up to you. But I'm a huge fan of VS Code. I've used, you name it. I've used almost every IDE that's out there for development, even down to no IDE to just text editors. And I think Visual Studio Code is a great balance between, not a full-blown IDE, can be if you want it to be, but text editing too. It can get bulky, and I'll be the first to admit that VS Code is starting to feel bulky sometimes when you launch it. But so much cool tech is built into it, it's just kind of hard to pass up. And their plugin architecture and their update model, and the fact that a huge company like Microsoft is backing that thing it's fantastic. So I think it's great, but it's not for everyone. Takano, I passed a WiseSense bridge to a VM and it just worked using the Proxmox GUI. Nice. WiseSense bridge to a VM and it just worked using the Proxmox GUI. Nice, man. Nice. Null route. Oh my God. I've been looking for something since the stream started and I just found it hidden in a drawer somewhere. I'm sure no one cares, but I just had to share the excitement. I know how that goes. I have so many junk drawers. I have a main junk drawer. Then I have a junk drawer. I call it the junk drawer annex, which is all the things that used to be in the first junk drawer. And that's just a huge box in the basement. And that's only for shared junk, Then I won't even tell you how many like tech junk drawers I have, which I have junk drawers that are loose parts. Then I have junk drawers for tech that are still packaged parts or still packaged wires. And I've even gone as far as dividing those up. So I have a whole bin of wires that haven't even been taken out of the package yet. Yeah, my junk drawer goes deep, so I share your sentiment and being excited that you found the junk there. Codamus time. I've seen virtual cell phones. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Well, it was soft phones, right? Or a bit of cell phones? I'm not sure. Oh, on a screen. LOL. PC Geek. I haven't done USB pass-through on Proxmox, but I have in VirtualBox and VMware. Prox lets you specifically use a USB port or device. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe it wasn't you that mentioned it. Skull. Howdy, y'all. How's it going? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. The PC Geek. I imagine you may have to do something similar to the GPU and disable the device on the host, but not sure. Yeah. And I remember that being the same on VirtualBox and ESXi. As soon as, I mean, they had a little icon, I think it was in the bottom right in the system tray, or, VirtualBox's status bar, and you would click and say transfer the host. And the same on VMware Desktop, if I remember correctly, very similar. And as soon as you did that, it would disconnect it from the host and pass it through it to the device. A little bit different on server, but absolutely it is possible. But it might take some config for sure. Techno minigames, yeah, here we go. So Techno does a lot of Minecraft hosting too. So I'm glad he's here to answer this question. For minigames, I would use software called AMP by Cube Coders. It's super easy to use, but paid. That's what you use for your server network. Yeah. Thank you for that. I remember you talking about how intricate your Minecraft server was. RAM drive, Farstone, restore it. Codamus time. All right. Mr. Butter OG, thanks. I've been developing plugins, and I think Docker may be a solution for an upcoming one. Nice. Codamus, good programs. Oh, I think we're talking about VS Code here. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's time to switch again. Here, I'll go back to desktop mode so you guys can see what I'm seeing. But then I can't see what I'm seeing. Then you see like the endless loop. So I don't know what I wanna do next. There are more Halloween ones. I feel like I should do a Halloween one. I feel like I should. What's up with Voodoo? How's this look? That's okay. It might be kind of scary. That is a crazy look. Let me see. I need to find an okay one. This one's kind of okay. There are some creepy ones in here. Like this one, that one's kind of creepy. This one's okay too. I'm okay with this. It's weird that my whole background is pink. Let's do this for a minute. Let's do this, and if it doesn't work out, we'll choose something else. So let me go back to chat. Here we go. All right, there we go. I'm liking it. Yeah, man, so many looks today. Let's go for it. Let's see here. Every time I move that around, it for some reason goes away. Techno Notepad++ is the superior IDE. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Note++ still. I truly do enjoy it. It's super lightweight. I think Penguin Airlines was talking about how lightweight it was, and he enjoys it too. I do too. Cause yeah, like I said, VS Code is starting to show its age, maturity. I don't know. It's getting bulky, is what I'm trying to say. Aaronizer. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see what else we got going on here. Mr. Butters OG. I love VS Code so much. Nicer than what I had a few years ago. VS Code or VS was too big. Yeah, Visual Studio itself was like a beast, and like every time they would release a service pack, it was like, yeah, prepare. I mean, it's like OS. It was like an operating system update. Like, don't do anything for 20-30 minutes. And at the end of it, it might fail and revert everything back. And it was just a nightmare. So yeah, much needed for sure. Toscano, no, Mr. Butters OG. I like Notepad++, but VS Code is so nice. I agree. I totally agree. I agree. It's pretty nice too. Mechanically dev. VS Code is awesome, but there are a few workflows that don't work well. Or work as great as VS, like programming in C++ and Unreal Engine. But for web, VS Code is great. Yeah, that's a really good point. So I've done only a tiny bit of C++. And most of the time I had no idea what I was doing. I was just modifying existing stuff that was out there, header files, and So that's a good point that, a full-blown IDE like Visual Studio is probably great for more like desktop native stuff or hardware, lower level languages, I guess I should say. So yeah, that's fantastic point. And I there's still a soft spot in my heart for Visual Studio. I mean, it was one of the first true IDEs I used, and what I used what I used when I started programming. And on top of that, the debugger was fantastic. I knew that every time I hit F5 and put some breakpoints in, I was going to hit my code, and that's how I learned to program, really, was through debugging. I went the backwards way. And so, yeah, soft spot in my heart for Visual Studio as a whole. Because in VS Code, like a lot of the times when if I'm doing TypeScript or JavaScript, when I hit F5, I never know if I'm going to hit my breakpoint just because, and that's the tooling that's around, TypeScript and having to transpile ahead of time. But yeah, VS Code was Visual Studio, full-blown IDE, was one of the best debuggers around for sure. Aaronizer, hello. Who are you and what do you do? My name is Tim and I do stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, I don't know what I do. I talk to people. I do a lot of tech stuff and I do a lot of in-home tech stuff, I guess it should say. So that's what I do. And that's what our community talks about. There's probably more, there might be more bio information down there. If not, I should totally add it because it's just, people are probably like, who is this guy? Especially today, like when I'm like this death elf thing, probably like, what is going on with that guy? Aaronizer, I gotta go, but at least I could drop by real quick. Hey, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, asking a big question, but I do appreciate you stopping in for sure. Mr. Butters OG, took me 2 hours to install Visual Studio, LOL. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. And then like, yeah, because then they started baking in like, okay, they're like Visual Studio, and then they're like, do you do mobile development? Like they had this whole entire decision tree built into their installer. And a lot of the times I just learned because I've done it a lot of times in my life, I was just like, say no to everything, I'll figure it out later. Because then they're like, hey, do you do mobile development? And I'm like, yeah, I do mobile development. That sounds like a good option. Oh, that just added 45 minutes because now they're going to install every emulator possible, every simulator. They're going to install Cordova. They're going to install like, 14 gigs of libraries just because I said I develop mobile development. I develop mobile apps. So yeah, I forget about all that stuff. The good old days, at least for me. Penguin Airlines. Wait, what? Why? Oh, I think we were talking about. Notepad++, and I think you were saying that you enjoyed it because it was super lightweight. Easton. I just went to the bathroom. What did I come back to? Elf. I'm open for switching it again too. Like I'm all for switching this because I want to get my money's worth out of the Snap Lens, which is $0. But I won't be able to appear as an elf on November 1st because people will be like, what is going on here? Oh, is that you, Dad? Yeah, it is. Dad, I'm here. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, Randev. Roundev, how have you been, buddy? Hopefully the family I left you with is taking care of you. Sorry. All right, let's pick another one. What are we doing now? All right, I got to pick something else. Halloween. How does this one look? Oh man, now I got to do this. I got to move this over here so I can see what you're seeing. So I have other scary ones. This one, it's kind of okay. Oh, my hair looks pretty good. It's on fire. Oh, that is so crazy. I won't. Like I said before, I could spend all day here. What Snap Lens? This one's kind of boring. Like it's kind of okay, but it's kind of boring. There's the Count, which yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It looks kind of scary. It's pretty good. I don't know. Whoa, what was this one all about? So I already did Mad Scientist. I don't know what Pumpkin. This is pretty wild, but doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Well, this one's kind of okay. Candy Face. Let's see what else. We have Q. We have Election. I already did them. Oh, that one. Yeah. Now I got America. All right, I'm gonna pick one real quick. I won't spend a ton of time in here, but man, these are pretty awesome. Halloween. We gotta do Halloween. We gotta do Halloween. Just give me something subtle, kind of scary, not necessarily super scary, to where people are gonna not even click on my channel if they see it. This one's okay. Don't know what's up with that one. Man, people have a lot of time on their hands to be able to create all these snap lenses, for sure. For sure. Hopefully they're making money off these too, because man, this is a lot of work for some people. Oh man, I could go with this. This is super. this is borderline creepy, but I'm okay with that. This one's kind of okay too. Got a little glitch going on in the background, which I'm okay with. All right, picking one more. I feel like I need my hat for that one. If I do this one with the hat, is this one okay? Oh yeah, it sticks right out there. That's what we're going with. This is what we're doing. Now this is happening. All right, let's get back to here. And then we're on full screen. No, not intro. I used to switch in my scenes this much. All right, there we go. This is Halloween. Oh my goodness. Came back to a lot of text. Let's see here. I code in HTML and I only use Notepad++. Hey, Techno, all right, going, yeah. Low, yeah. Keeping it simple. Let's see here. Mechanically Dev. VS Code is awesome. But yeah, we talked about this. I'm sorry. Talias. VS Code is great because in a single IDE, you can write almost anything. Great plugin support for Kubernetes, Docker, HashiCorp, Helm, GitHub, PRs, Jira. By the way, this filter would be Haskell. All right, Talias, what would this lens be, or this filter be? What would you call it? If you could describe this filter in tech, either being a programming language or a technology, what would it be? I think it's Elf right now. Now I switched to Devil Horns. I kind of like it because it sticks through my hat, so I'm gonna stick with it for a minute. Codamus time. Yeah. Fathead, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you since Tuesday, I think. Oh, and also I never apologized for not having my stream on Thursday. I apologize. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but most of the reason why I didn't do the stream on Thursday was just because I just need to try to find a balance between real life live content and VOD content. It's tough. I'm still figuring it out, so I don't mean to sound like a broken record. But you know, sometimes I'm just figuring it all out. As someone asked earlier, is this your full-time job? It is absolutely not my full-time job. This is my hobby. So yeah. So anyways, Fathead, good to see you. Glad you're back. Right, Round Dev. Holy, is that you, Dad? Oh yeah, we talked about that. It is your dad. How you been, son? Hopefully that family's taking care of you all right. Takano, I'm concerned. What did I come back to? Yeah, if you just came back to this, yeah, be more concerned. Linux Tuck, by the way, you misspelled Instagram in the section. Instagram. Yeah, sounds right. I have lots of typos. Someone told me that before, and I was like, yeah, totally gonna fix it. I will fix it this time for sure. Gram. Instagram. So cucaracha, la cucaracha DB, and Instagram fix. Those are my notes from today. Rothenbow. My Ryzen Proxmox server 2020 AMD Ryzen 9 3900X. Wow, whoa. Did we read this before? No, this might be something else. Oh, but by the way, Linux Tuck, thank you so much. I will definitely fix it for sure this time. Really appreciate it. Thanks. And if you guys see typos anywhere on any of my stuff, let me know. I love that stuff. I don't take it to heart. I'm terrible. I know how to spell, but my accuracy when typing, when I'm like, you know, not fully engaged with what I'm doing, lacks. So yeah, thank you. Rovenbo, my Ryzen Proxmox server 2020 AMD Ryzen 9 3900X Asus TUF Gaming X570 Plus Corsair Vengeance LPX 64 gig 4x16 gig DDR4 3200 4 Hitachi HGST Ultrastar 4 terabyte 2 Corsair MP600 Gen 4 500 gig NVMe SSD Chenbro rack mount server chassis. This is like a copy and paste of either something you bought or some specs. Oh yeah, it was a copy and paste for Amazon because there's the arriving today in parentheses. I was like, man, he typed a lot or copy and paste this from somewhere. Arriving today. So it's a hypervisor for VMs and Docker containers, FreeNAS, Unified Controller, Plex Media Server, Minecraft Server, Pi-hole, OpenVPN, Rancher, and Kubernetes. That sounds exactly like, well, at least the software stack side sounds exactly what I got going on here. So that's pretty awesome, pretty exciting. So man, you have an exciting weekend for sure. That's a crazy build too. That is a crazy build. Sounds awesome. You'll have to let me know how it goes for sure. For sure. Penguin Airlines. Oh no, sorry. I was replying to Mr. Butters asking what took him 2 hours to install VSC. Oh yeah, thank you. Takano, Apple, when it comes to the right repair, is that filter. Apple, when it comes to the right repair. I like it. This is the name of this filter. All right. Oh, let me make sure. Is my bot still going? Yeah, he's still going. Devil filter. C++. Yeah, for sure. Mr. Butters OG, any plans on making a video on Docker files and making images? Good question. So, I kind of have one now. So I kind of have one. And so, great suggestion. What I try to do, at least in my videos, whoa, dude, my horns are going up. Anyways, I'm getting distracted by myself. What I try to do in my videos is sometimes not teach topics, but something that you can apply to what you're doing. And during that, I do touch on topics. So I take a more pragmatic approach, I guess, to my videos where I'm trying to accomplish some kind of task. And I guess maybe a more practical approach than trying to teach theories about why one would do things. I try to sprinkle that in some of my tutorials. I probably don't do it the greatest, but I found that, I'd rather create some kind of project for someone to do or to test out or see if they want to do and kind of see it end to end. And so that's what I try to focus on. So going back to like your question, will I make a video on Docker files and making images? Well, I kind of have one, but it isn't just, hey, let's create, a Docker file. Well, let's take a Docker file, create a Docker image, and store that in a registry. I actually do that in one of my videos as part of another video. So hopefully that helps and makes sense. It's hard for me to just like teach a topic. Like if I was, I think, a professor or something, I think I would go crazy. Just because I'm not the greatest at, I guess, diving deep on topics and staying on topic for a really long time. I like to move and move and move. And that's, I think, why I like tutorial type stuff, because there's a beginning, there's an end, there's an outcome, there's something you can apply right away if you're interested in it. And then, So anyways, long story short, if you're looking for that, I have one already and I can point you to it. I forget which one it is. I think it's in my DevOps one, where I actually create, I take one of my pieces of code and then build a Docker container and push it up to GitLab. I think it's in that one. And it's end to end. So if that's something you want to do and you want to do it during CI, you can follow that. If you don't want to do CI and all of that, you can totally grab the commands and do it yourself locally too. It's the same idea. Let's see here, but hopefully that answers your questions. Your question. All right, I'm gonna go with another one because the red eyes are distracting me real quick. I'm gonna toggle through these. Ooh, that's kind of distracting too. I kind of like the towel look. I don't know why I keep going back. I like the towel look. I think that's what I'm gonna go with for now. Even though it is kind of distracting, I like it. When's the next time I'm gonna be able to wear? Oh, I could either that or the beard. It's either gonna be the beard. Maybe I'll go with the beard. Just because if someone changes the light color, I want that to still apply. Anyways, this is what I'm going with now. Sorry, let me grab a drink real quick. Yeah, the bass on this one is awesome. Anyways, so I'm back. Let's see here. Mr. Butters, any plans? Penguin Airlines, it was an old PC, a bit slow, clicked on all the options, so LOL. Yeah, you clicked on all the options. Yeah, that can make, I was talking about that earlier, that can make VS Code, I keep saying VS Code, I'm so used to it now. A Visual Studio install go from 10 minutes to an hour. But to be honest, I haven't installed it on Windows 10, period. I've done it. Oh, maybe I did, because I had to do some C++ stuff once. So maybe I did. And I agree, like, getting your environment configured in VS Code with C++ stuff is not fun. Let's see here. Hipskids, you should do a rancher on Pi 4 and make it a cluster video. Yeah, that's a good idea. I've considered it before. And I still do consider it, possibly. But at the end of the day, you know, the software that you put on the hardware sometimes doesn't change the outcome. So that's kind of what I wrestle with. It's like, well, I can do that same thing and use K3S and get that running on a virtual machine, a bare metal machine, or a Raspberry Pi. And if I'm going after Raspberry Pi stuff, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, all great. And I have definitely thought about it before. But yeah, great suggestion. Stay tuned. F-Deathin. Good morning, Tim. Thanks for your videos. Hey, no problem at all. They've helped me with a new Dell R620 and Proxmox server. Nice. How do you like your R620? Are those aren't 1U, are they? Those are still 2U, right? Yeah. How do you like it? For sure. Yeah. Penguin Airlines, all black lipstick. You didn't like that one? I'm just trying to mix it up. I'm just trying to mix it up for sure. Yeah, I could go back to it. I could go back to it for sure. Yeah, for sure. I could go back to it. I can be convinced. I can be convinced for sure. Twitch 3204. I'm trying to install WordPress in Rancher. Any advice? The best way to do this? I was planning on proxying it behind traffic. Kind of new to Docker and Rancher. Yeah, so great question. It's going to be very similar to the rest of this stuff. I have WordPress running right now in my own Rancher setup now. I do have an external MySQL database that's running, and I am using the official WordPress Docker container. So my suggestion is, I mean, you know, WordPress takes a lot of infrastructure to get going. You're going to need a MySQL database somewhere. Maybe there's an image out there that has the database included with it, but you're going to have to get that up and going and running. I think, you know, create your users or your user that can seed the tables and the database when it first spins up for the first time, or be able to provide, a user that you can provide a password, you know, to bootstrap the app and the tables and everything when it launches for the first time. I didn't find anything too terribly difficult for it. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, maybe not. I know I'm going to, just not right this second. So I didn't find anything like too terribly difficult with it. It's a lot of, you know, plugging in values for environment variables. And then there's some volume mapping too, because you need persistent storage. Otherwise, all the plugins and stuff that you download aren't going to persist when your container restarts. I'd love to, I'll Twitch 3204. I can definitely follow up in Discord and like throw screenshots up of my settings minus secrets. I'd love to do that for you. I can't do it here right now because I don't have an easy way to hide those secrets. But if you join our Discord, I'd love to just post somewhere and say, hey, remember me? Twitch 30. You'll probably have a different name on Discord. Maybe it'll be Discord 3204. Say, hey, I was Twitch 3204. Show me your WordPress, and I'll definitely do it for sure. I'm all for sharing that stuff. But again, it was just a lot of config, and you got to have a database out there. Unless there's a container out there or an image out there that already has a database embedded in it, then you may not have to. But yeah. Let's see here. Oh, lots of ones rolled in. F-Deathin, 620 is 1U. Okay. 620, and you said you had a R620. Oh, did I not say R620? Oh, Now the 620 are 1U. They're the 2 CPU model on the R420. Oh, got you. Love it. Only downside is lack of PCIe room. Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that, and that's why I've been struggling with my 1U concept. I mean, I don't know if yours is 2U or 1U. Seems like it, but I struggle with that too. Just because what I found in 1U servers, and I've been mulling this over for weeks now, is that most of the time you can only fit, one PCI, I don't know what the slots are called, but one PCI slot height card in there in a 1U server, and that's what I struggle with too. It's like I don't need 2U just for like a video card to be more specific. Most of them are going to take up 2 PCI Express slot height. I don't know. I don't want to call those U because they're not server rack units. But anyways, yeah, I struggle with that too. I'm still struggling with it. I still have this idea like I want 2 1U servers because I have a limited rack space, and maybe I'm gonna overpay, maybe I'm gonna underperform, maybe I'm gonna build the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, I don't have an unlimited amount of rack space because I can only fit so many things in my rack. I could go with like a lot bigger rack, but I want to keep the one I have now, waist high. And challenge myself to not grow beyond that. But yeah, so I struggle with that too. Not enough PCIe room. I totally agree. Hibskids. The R600 series are the 1U, I think. And I have an R710 that's 2U. Nice. Yeah, I have an R710 too. Fantastic machine. Like I have zero complaints about that machine. Like it's so great. So great. One of my best purchases, I think, last year for sure. Hibskids could be wrong. Penguin Airlines, you're right. 5XX, 7XX, and 8XX are 2U. Nice. 2XX, 4XX, and 6XX are 1U. Nice. Okay, so I was gonna say there's a pattern there, but kind of, sort of. Evens, odds, except for 8 are 2. Odds except for 8 are 2. All right, yeah. I have the hardest time finding that information. I guess I Google it and look for images, and I'm kind of like, okay, that's 1 or 2U. Wolfgang Blitz, best beard ever. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's so awesome, like how precise this thing is. Like I can't get over it. Let's see here. Best beard ever. Takano, almost 8K points. Man, you need to start spending those points, man. No one so far. This whole entire stream has been Tokyo Nights. I was waiting to see if you were gonna spend some to switch the lights up. But yeah, so far, hey, and this is, I'll admit, this is my favorite theme. So I'm, but I like them all, or otherwise I wouldn't have made them. Maybe I'm a little biased because I made them all, but yeah. Oh, there you go. All right, let's change it up a little bit. I was beginning to wonder. I kept checking my bot. I'm like, is my bot still working and people are spending points? There you go. All right. I was just trolling you so you can get to 10K points. Just kidding, maybe. Want to get back to 10K points? Yeah, I saw that. F Deathen. My R620 can fit an extra network card and a small PCI powered GPU, and that's it. Okay. I'm trying to think. It can fit it. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think where it would fit though. On the inside. I need to look at the inside of that, but that's good to know. That's good to know for sure. The ones I was looking at, I can only fit one PCI Express device and only one slot high, because they're super low pro. But yeah, that's good to know. All right. Yeah, change those lights. Thanks for earning points. Thanks for spending them. I appreciate it. Extra network card. Yep. Twitch 3204. Already on Discord. Same name it's been since the original Xbox day. All right. Wait. Oh, on Discord. All right. Thank you. I thought you meant like, wait, your name was Twitch. Hey, Penguin Airlines resub 3 months. Yeah. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah. Got the lights going. Yeah. Dude, Penguin Airlines, 3 months, dude. Thank you so much. That's better. Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the continued support. Thanks for being here today too, man. Really appreciate it. And all your knowledge and expertise. Really appreciate it, man. Let's see here. F Deathin, the other slot is wasted. Yeah, that's what I've seen on mine too. Cause like the server board I was looking at has like I think 3 slots, but then it has a riser. And then in that riser, you can only fit 1 slot. So like the board kind of wastes, I think 2 or 3 additional slots that you just can't even use. They're just there. I wish there was some other way or some crazy riser where I can just manipulate things. Because on some of my things, I don't even need the output. Hey, Rofenbo, hey, thanks for the sub, appreciate it. Prime sub, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, lights are going. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And I'd love to pronounce your name properly. If it's not Rofenbo, let me know, because that's how I've been saying it. I really want to pronounce your name properly, for sure. Wow. Hips Kids, hey, thanks for the sub, Prime sub, man. Dude, thank you guys so much. Wow, got the lights going. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. You guys are awesome, thank you. Let's see here, Go Ryzen. So this is from T-Lias. Go Ryzen to save some use. Yeah, good, okay, Go Ryzen. Yeah. The only thing, that's a possibility for me. I depend on CUDA cores and NVENC stuff for some of my workloads. Doesn't mean I couldn't shift it around and see if it'll work on AMD. But yeah, that's a good point. Is an AMD equivalent? That's one. What are the PCI Express slot heights called? What's their unit of measurement? Because I just say, it's either 2 slots or 1 slot, and most video cards I need to use take up 2 slots, and it's because the crazy big fan or the metal sheath around it for looks most of the time, and then a tiny little fan ends up taking up 2U, which then 2 slots, and then the outside, the bracket ends up taking up 2 slots too. And I feel like just cutting that off, cutting all of that stuff off so I can fit some of my consumer grade cards into one of the slots and not take up 2. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Thanks, Telias. Penguin Airlines. I only know because I have them all, LOL, except for the A10. Wow, man, you have some awesome infrastructure then. You have all of them except for the 810. Man, that is awesome. That's a lot of stuff. I don't assume you keep them on all the time, do you? You just spin them up for testing? Let's see, Linux Tux, do you recommend unified USGs to build a DMZ or separate the network? Sorry. So do I use Unified's USG, so the secure gateway, to build a DMZ or separate the network? So I do. So so prior to my upgrade, I was separating the network. It wasn't physical separation because that entire network was virtual. So every device on the network was virtual. Even that network itself was virtual. And even that network adapter itself was virtual. So I virtualized my whole entire, I guess, DMZ or just a subnet or a network that had no access to the rest of my other network. And I'm taking that same idea and doing it with USG. So, or unified gateway. VLANs, I should take even that out of the equation. The product that's going to implement it for me. And so now I'm switching over to VLANs instead of virtual networks that only exist on a virtual machine. And so I'm relying on VLANs and firewall rules to segment that traffic for me, and relying on firewalls rules I'm creating to not let any of the bad stuff through, over, around, or anything like that. So that's where I am so far. Hey, Kingoli, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. That's where I am so far. And so I've been able to take my previous network that only parts of it only exist virtually, and now create that same network using Unify and my USG, to create that with VLANs now. So the idea is totally exactly the same. It's just that now I'm using VLANs instead of actual networks and you know, shifting, I guess, the roles and responsibilities over to USG instead of doing it through firewall and not routing certain traffic and firewall rules and stuff like that. So anyways, and I was using Sophos XG firewall, and I did this before with pfSense too. So I didn't use a ton of VLANs because I would create virtual networks for that stuff. So anyways, hopefully that answers your question. I am gonna go all in with VLANs now instead of doing what I was doing before. So, and you know, the product I guess doesn't necessarily matter because you could tag those packets with a lot of things, you know, and so that's the approach I'm going with. And let me know if that sounds crazy. Techno there did it. Yeah. Penguin Airlines, anarchist, Techno. Yeah, he totally will. I will eventually. Yeah. That was my troll back to you. Like, yeah, you should spend some points right after you say you're almost at 10K. Oh wait, something's missing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Penguin Airlines. Yeah, thank you again so much. You did it for nothing. F Deathin, my PCI slots are sideways. I have to take the fan off the cooler. This is exactly what I was talking about. But with all those fans, it's fine. Yeah, maybe I should do something like that too. I have to figure it out. I haven't totally settled on my hardware yet. Settled on some of it. But I'm just gonna, I'm gonna figure this out as I go. If not, I'm gonna try to find a Quadro for super cheap because the one device, if I'm gonna only have one PCI Express slot and these two one-use servers, most likely at least one is gonna be for a video card. Doesn't have to be, but I think I want it to be the way that I'm planning out V2 of my servers and workloads. My workhorses for, I guess, my workloads. No route. Did you just change it to Kano? I'm sorry. Yeah, he did. I was out there for a sec, didn't see a change. Yeah, he changed it and then it was changed back. Let's see here. Are you standing, Tim? Penguin Islands? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am standing. I've decided to stand during the stream, depending on how long the stream is. But I do this a lot for work. I noticed that like, so for work, I use basically this same exact office. I don't have it in dark crazy mode right now. I have this other mode called light mode where it's a little more appropriate for work. You know, I was wearing the beard yesterday at work though. You know, this is, you know, like a lot of people working from home. So this is my work from home area too. So I did convert my desk to a standing desk. You know that. Long story short, I am standing now, and the point I guess I was trying to make is now whenever I have a Zoom call or I turn on this camera, I stand. It's just something I just started doing because, I don't know, it helps me focus. If I'm just sitting in a chair, sometimes I get, I don't know, lose focus, and then I start slouching and then doing all this other stuff. Anyways. So yeah, I'm standing during the stream as much as I can. I know that, you know, too much of either is not good. And I feel that sometimes too. But yeah, I'm going to try to, but yeah, I'm standing. I could totally go back here and my beard is still good. I can't get over how detailed that is, man. I have a huge jaw too, at least with this beard. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, almost had the train there. Ronbo, thank you. Ronbo, I will remember that. Almost like Rambo, but Ronbo. Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you, because I was saying Ruffinbo. Ronbo, got you. Ronbo, thank you so much. Thanks for spelling it phonetically for me too, because it helps tremendously. Penguin Islands, I have no idea, Tim. I was Googling it and I can't see. I think most reviewers call it slots, like you say. Yeah, I wish there was a unit. It should be like PCI unit, P unit. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm always like, yeah, I can never figure out what to call it. I'm just like 2 slot, 1 slot. And then it's like, well, which slot? The PCI Express slot. And then it just becomes a mouthful. I need something shorter. I'm getting lazy. Skull, but yeah, thanks for looking for sure. We should come up with the term for it and make it easier to say. Skull, got to find Galix 1070 Katana for that 1U. Yeah. I need something. I need to find one GPU that only takes up one slot. One slot height. There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah. And the P2000 or 2200 I think is a good choice. I think a lot of people do that. But they're like $350, $400 on eBay. If I could score one for like 2, I might think about it, but yeah. Crazy Glue, hey, so my current home lab consists of a tiny server box and a consumer grade router and modem. I want to get a rack and put up the server in and also add some networking and add a server, ideally an R720, but holy crap, are they long? Yeah. But space is a premium as I live in a small condo. Do I buy a new case from my existing server or do I get a rack and dedicate it to dedicate 2 of my closets to it? Hey, Life Puzzler Leet. Thanks for the resub, 3 months. Oh my gosh, 3 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, get the lights going. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Prime 3 months. Wow, thank you for the continued support. Crazy Glue. Yeah, all great questions. Like I've been wrestling this for a long time, and some people know that the reason why part of the reason why I've been thinking about building 1U servers is because I want something shorter. Because I don't like the depth that my rack takes up. And the reason why my rack takes up a lot of depth is just because of my R710. It's the only thing in there that's super long. And so, hey, Craven, resub. Wow, 5 months. Dude, thank you so much, Craven. Tier 3, dude. Dude, thank you so much. Didn't even know you were in the stream. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. Oh man. Yeah. So anyways, talking about all of these, the things you're talking about, the same things I've kind of been going through in my head too. Is like, yes, I do have a lot of space in my basement, but I don't want to take up a lot of space in my basement. And on top of that, the only thing that's keeping me now from reducing the depth in my rack is my 710. I'm going to keep my 710 around, but if I weren't to someday, if I were to build something else, I could probably reduce the depth of my rack by probably 30%, just because I don't have an R710 there anymore. If I had more than one, yeah, it wouldn't even be a question. I would never have questioned this. So what I've done, I've done a lot of the things you talked about. I have an R710, thinking about building something that's not as deep. But then I've also converted a PC case to a server case. So one of my servers is actually a PC convert, and I don't need registered RAM or anything like that. It's just running a small, it's running a small workload, but pretty heavy workload. I don't know what that means. Heavy task, but it's not super critical. I guess I'll put it that way. What I ended up doing was just converting that PC to a rack mount case, which is fine, and it works great. I wish it didn't take up 4U, but whatever. So that's kind of the route I went. So going back to your question, do you buy a new case from an existing server, or do you just get the rack and dedicate one of my closets to it? Yeah, that's gonna be up to you. You know, I'm a fan of smaller racks. I know that a lot of people have bigger racks, and if I could have gotten a bigger rack, I would have, because that's the position I was in a while ago. But now as I have been consolidating more and more things, I'm kind of trying to make a smaller physical footprint. So anyways, I don't know if any of that helps. Those are some of the things that I've been wrestling with too. You just kind of have to decide. It is, I'll say this, racks are fantastic to be able to put everything in one place, to be able to reduce all of the cords, reduce network wires coming from everywhere, reduce all of those little, gadgets and pieces of things you have hanging everywhere, either on a shelf or like I had screwed on to plywood in my basement. And so racks are awesome for that, because you're like, okay, now I have a dedicated space for all this stuff. You know, it gives you some decent organization. If you buy shelves for it, you can put things and dedicate things there. Then that makes all of your network runs a lot shorter. And so it helps you clean up stuff. So anyways, long story short, yeah, I would go for it, but I wouldn't over allocate. Just like I was talking about earlier about not pre-optimizing. But I mean, it just depends. I mean, as things grow, I mean, you can too. And on top of that, I mean, you know, those racks I've seen used for more than just networking, more than servers. I mean, people use it for audio stuff. People use it for all kinds of stuff in homes now. And I've heard from people who are builders that they're starting to put, you know, mini racks in people's houses now, mini racks, you know, mini ones, because they know that people are going to want networking in their house. They know everyone's going to have some kind of networking in their house, or maybe whole home audio in their house, or, you know, some place to centralize that stuff that they're going to pull wires down to, either network or audio or whatever. And so, you know, I mean, maybe you could kind of plan for that. If, you know, if you're in a condo now, I think you said you're in a small condo, maybe one day you'll be in a house. So maybe you just buy that small rack now that you would put in your house in the future. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not talking you out of it. That's for sure. Because I think they're pretty versatile, and not just for, you know, server gear too. Because whole home audio stuff is nice. And I mean, unless you buy Sonos and all that, but you know, if you have a amplifier or whatever, yeah, that stuff can go in there too. But Penguin Airlines, now they're not on most of the time. 510, 12 bay will probably stay on all the time as soon as I get TrueNAS working properly. Nice. And I will probably sell the 415 and 210 at some point. Nice. Todor, election warpaint. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I was trying to mix it up a little bit with Halloween and get out and vote. And so I kind of put those 2 in 1. Hey, Crazy Glue, thank you so much. Man, Crazy Glue, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Oh man, appreciate it. Hey, Linux Tux with the cheer. Dude, thank you so much for the bits. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Man, a lot of activity today, and really appreciate it for sure. Crazy Glue, thanks for the Prime sub. Linux Tux, thanks for cheering with the bits for sure. Very comfy stream. Yeah, well, thank you. This beard makes it a little comfy too. But thank you, appreciate it. So where was I? Hipskids. VLANs are really easy to set up in pfSense. Yeah, for sure. They were confusing for me in Sophos. Maybe that's just because of the way they designed that thing, which is pretty robust. But at the same time, is kind of a lot of parts seemed like magic to me. But yeah, pfSense for sure. Yeah, for sure. Talias, I haven't tested the GPU pass-through, but if you are in Dire, you could use an eGPU, just throwing it out there. Yeah, thank you, an external one, for sure. I definitely could, and I've seen ways to do it too, with like a PCI Express extender ribbon thing. Whoa, that went away. PCI Express ribbon thing, and then draw power from, you know, whatever, my 12-volt power, and do it that way too. I kind of want to keep it all tucked in there too. And then I'm even questioning, like, why I know I need a GPU for one thing, and so at the same time, I'm trying to consolidate a couple of boxes into one. It's probably not possible, we'll see, but trying to consolidate 2 boxes, one's for you, one's to you, all down into 2 1Us. Sounds crazy, but I think I might pull it off, we'll see. But thank you, that's definitely a good possibility, and I might do that in a pinch, for sure. Penguin Airlines, you're so close to level 2. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's all you guys. F Dethem, PCIe types, full length, half height, low profile, slim. Okay, full length, half length, low profile, and slim. Low profile / slim. So that explains the depth, and then the width of the card. But then what is it called when it takes up 2 slots? Like all video cards. Maybe it's just 2 slots. Yeah. Someone come in clutch. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it either way, but yeah, appreciate it, guys. I would love it if you did a video on VLAN setup with USG. You know, I've considered it, and I'll say this again, that like, it's my natural color. He's on YouTube. He did a 3-part series where he did a big network transformation, kind of similar to what I did, but different gear. But he has the greatest, that I found, documentation or video tutorial on setting up VLANs with USG, with the Unified Gateway. It's so fantastic. He even provides his Excel spreadsheet. Like, his video is so good that I was just like, I'm not even gonna attempt to do any of this, because like, if I ever do something, I'll probably just say, go watch his video, because it's way better. And I'm not gonna make one just to make one when someone did it fantastic for the first time. So yeah, I think a lot of people have mentioned it to me even before I did this, and have posted it in our Discord about this when people ask about setting up VLANs for Unify. And I watched it, and it definitely piqued my interest even more than it was for Unify. But when I actually had to then implement it, you best believe I went right to that video. I paused it. I grabbed his Excel spreadsheet and I did it. I implemented most of my network, very similar to how he has his network implemented. But the nice part is it gave me it was like a great intro and a great tutorial to set up VLANs using a brand new system. Because the idea of VLANs, doesn't change from one system to the next, but how you set those up and how it's implemented within another system does change. So it was fantastic. I just felt like this is great. Anyways, long story short, if you're looking to do that, I highly recommend look at part 3. It's an hour long. But he has a lot of entertainment in there too, and he's a great speaker, has a great energy, and he also I think is a great teacher, and so I really admired his video. And so anyways, it is an hour long. You can find the 20 minutes, the 10-minute part in there that you need for setting it up. Follow that, and you are 99% of the way there. I did a lot of things different afterwards because I have more VLANs than him. I host stuff publicly here at home, so I needed something that he didn't have. So yeah, and I have a couple other concerns too with VLANs that he didn't have. So anyways, long story short, look at his. I'd make one, but I would not do it as great as a job as he did. So yeah. Anyways, hats off to It's My Natural Color. I think this is my 3rd time talking about him on stream because man, I love that video. He did such a great job. And from the outside looking in, if you look at it, you're like, 59 minutes, no way am I gonna watch this. Who has 1 hour? But I took in so much information in the 15-20 minute part that I watched. Well, I watched the whole thing, but the 15-20 minute where I was actually pausing and going through the video myself and implementing this, I couldn't have learned from hours of perusing Unify's documentation itself. So anyways, I sound like I have a crush on him, but no, I have a crush on his way of teaching, because it was great. Anyways, so yeah, F Deathan, my oh yeah, Techno, oh yeah, is that your password? Admin123. He's trolling me. He wouldn't have a password admin123. He wouldn't. That's totally. Anyways. If it was something with a little more characters, I would be like, oh yeah, but then yeah, he's on it. Anyways, long story short, yeah, check out his video. If there's something in there that's missing that you have questions about, yeah, feel free to ask me. He's also very responsive on his own YouTube channel too, so post some comments there for sure. Always post comments. Post comments everywhere on everyone's YouTube video. It helps the algorithm. That's my PSA. Craven, Sickbeard, hey, how's it going? Yeah, thank you, man. Dude, thank you. I just saw your comment. Yeah, dude, thanks again for the continued support, man. Wondering how you're doing. I think you're the one, too, that has a P2200 Quadro, as I was talking about it earlier. But yeah, how you doing? Like the beard? Yeah, this is my get out and vote / it's Halloween beard. Hope you like it. Hope you're well, man. Hibskids, I'm needing to head out, but it was great to sit here and chill and try to make other streams as well. Thank you so much, Hibskids. Thank you so much. Take care. Takano, yeah, take care. Penguin Airlines, yeah, that's awesome. I sit stand at work too, but I don't see many streamers standing. Yeah, I've seen a couple every now and then, but Yeah, I've kind of turned this whole office area now into my studio slash work from home slash Zoom slash everything, edit videos. And so, you know, I don't know. When the pandemic broke out, I was like, all those things I was going to hold off on for next house or later, I'm just going to do now. So, and part of it was getting the standing desk in order. And then another part of it was getting my lights in order so that they attach to my desk so that I can raise or lower this whole thing, even my camera, and it'll all move with it. So yeah. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's super decent setup. I'd say decent setup. I actually really enjoy my setup now too, even for work and programming and coding. Techno, having to clean out my whole game PC area turned into a mess in the process of moving everything over to the new case. Yeah, I can relate. When I build cases or PCs or servers or anything, I'm just surrounded in a pile of junk. There's a thing I'm working on, and then there's this pile of junk all around me. Everything's an arm's length because it's just like put this here, put this here, put this here. It's like when I do taxes too. Same thing. I just papers all over me, and I'm just like, which one do I need now? Let's see here. Tucano, I'm using like 2 extenders for my server since it's horizontal slots instead of vertical. Nice. Yeah. Penguin Airlines. It's my natural colors VLAN spreadsheet looks fantastic. I think so too. Yeah. He even he said he put it up there due to popular request. I only use the far right side of that spreadsheet, just basically defining my VLANs in my Wi-Fi networks and which ones they tie to. And arguably, now that I understand it more and have configured it, I don't need that thing, but it's great. It's great. And I've already shared that with someone else. Someone I work with yesterday, I had a 30-minute conversation on how to do the same thing because he was interested. And I was like, let's talk about it. Here's a spreadsheet I use. Here's some screenshots of my settings. But if you want to know more, watch this video. I send everyone to that video now because seems like a lot of people are using USG or are interested in it, for sure. Penguin Hands can confirm. Yeah, thank you. Admin 123, yeah, Hunter. Password, all right, these passwords, all right. These passwords are no good. Rex Roof. It's nice of Twitch to star out your password when you type it in. Oh, that was your real password that started out? Interesting. So they interesting. So you typed in your real password. That is super interesting that they do that. So they must like take a hash. They must know the hash of your password. And as you type in chat, they're just checking that hash all the time. And really quickly, they just blank it out. That's really awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna type my password in there. I mean, I have 2-factor auth on. If I typed it in, wouldn't be the end of the world. Wouldn't be great. But that's super interesting to me that they do that. Now you're pasting stars in there. Now, I don't believe. Maybe. All right, guys, don't type your password in here to test it. Maybe do it. Maybe go to your own Twitch channel and click the chat button and paste it in your own Twitch channel. But don't type your password in here, just in case. But that's interesting to me. I like that. I like that approach that they thought about that because I'm sure a lot of people have accidentally pasted stuff in chat. I mean, we've seen a lot of people's passwords, not for Twitch, but just in here because people multitask. You know, they're working on something on the side and they got me going in. So they're like, yeah, which window am I in? Copy and paste. But yeah, interesting. I like it. So yeah, good to know, Rex Roof, unless you're trolling me and you pasted a whole bunch of stars in there. Oh, so Rex Roof could be trolling everyone in here. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. All right, no route. Do not pass. Do not pass it. All right, whatever you do not pass. See, this might be social engineering too. So the opposite, you know, the flip side of this is that Rex Roof could be trolling us all and saying, wow, you know, if you copy and paste your password in here, it's all stars. And what he did was copy and paste some stars in here like I did. And then so people then go and try to copy and paste stars in here. Yeah, and then they don't see it. So yeah, do not do that. Absolutely do not. Oh man. Yeah, I like it. I like how we kind of figured that out. Anyways, I highly suggest, as with everything, you have 2-factor auth on, right? Because then your password is 100% throwaway. So if you don't have 2-factor auth on Twitch, please do it now. Take 2 seconds, turn it on, get Authy going, or text yourself and turn it on, absolutely. Because then, in the case where you accidentally do paste your password somewhere or they'll throw away anyways, right? Because it takes one you have and one you know, right? And that's the one you know, and the one you have stays with you. Oh man, this is, yeah, I like it. I like it. You guys saw right through that one. Took me a second on that one too. I was thinking more on the technical side, like, oh, that's interesting that they do that. And I was trying to figure out how you would implement something like that. I went into implementation right away. I was like, okay, they're probably hashing your password because they don't technically know your password. They know the hash of it so that if they see it, then they can say, okay, blank this out because this is it. But yeah, for sure. Like it. Let's see here. Oh, wow, where is it? Everything just jumped really fast. The password is your kid's middle names. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly how it was. Rex Roof, how do you know when my kid's middle name? Yeah, I have a kid, yeah. Oh man, wow, no way, good job Twitch. Yeah, hey, it worked. Home Lab New, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. LOL, yeah, for sure. Oh man, wow, it worked, yeah. Yeah, we got him. Skeptical, I'm skeptical too. I wasn't gonna test it. And I was saying, if you do test it, don't test it here. Test it somewhere else. Like in your own chat window, but don't even do that. And on top of that, I have 2FA on. Anyways, mission accomplished. It literally works every time. Phantom Mask wanted to say thanks for your videos. Hey, no problem at all. They helped me build a lab and also started an internship as a DevOps engineer. Keep it up. Yeah, no, you keep it up. That's awesome. Congratulations on your internship as DevOps engineer. That's a really awesome position to have. As an intern, for sure. I mean, my internships were, they were good, but starting out with like, in an area like that, an internship sounds really awesome. You're going to learn a ton because you're going to learn about infrastructure. You're going to learn about CI. You're going to learn about code. You're going to learn a ton of stuff because that role plays, kind of right in the middle of a lot of things I do. And so, yeah, you're going to learn a ton for sure. You're gonna be drinking from the fire hose. But yeah, so awesome. Yeah, congratulations. Home Lab knew it even does the 2FA code. All right. No one posts anything in there except for things you type, and those things you type should not be passwords or codes. Penguin Airlines. I hate Twitch's Authy MFA, and 2FA is not secure enough. Yeah. Takano, LastPass plus 2FA, and we are good. I can leak passwords and just switch it real quick. Yeah, password. LastPass does have that password reset feature too, where they'll basically script it. No route. 804.120. Wow, indeed. Oh man, you guys are killing me. Someone please clip this. Yeah. Crazy Glue, it works with your mother's maiden name too. All right, you guys, yeah. It works with your mother's maiden name. It works with your pets. It works with your address number. It works with, this is totally, yeah, social engineering too. All those questionnaires that go out that are like, yeah, fill out this form. What's your favorite color? What's your mother's maiden name? What's your eldest cousin's name? What's your, what was your first job or your first car? No one type any of that into chat because those are most likely, your security questions for really important stuff, so please don't do that. Takano, after getting the whole setup clean and set up, I'll post a picture in the Sweet Setups channel. Yeah, looking forward to seeing it. Home Lab New everywhere should support U2F, so people can't cause too much damage. Yeah, for sure. U2F, what's U2F? I assume the two-factor piece, but what's the U part? No route. It also works for your credit card expiration date and social security code. Tight. No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't do any of this. If you're just joining the channel and people are saying to type in things that should be secret, please don't. Yeah. Universal two-factor. Okay. It's the new standard for universal two-factor. Nice. Penguin Airlines. The real pro tip is to use false answers for security questions. Yeah, example. What city were you born? Hyrule. Yeah. I'm on, yep, done that too. Or you just, or you answer something that has absolutely nothing to do with the question they answer. You just know that that's the answer to that question. And has absolutely nothing to do. Yeah. But what you said, yeah, totally make up stuff. for sure. It's funny, some of the ones I put in the past, I was like, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but yeah. I've done similar things before, but then sometimes I forget which ones I've done that for. But now it's nice that others are starting to change, and you know, the security questions aren't security questions anymore. They're more send an email and you verify. But yeah. Yeah, for sure, as long as you can remember it. Yeah. What's the name of your dad? I have no idea. Is that you, Dad? Yeah. No, real talk. You should avoid security questions when you can. Treat them like extra passwords. Yeah, totally agree. They're very insecure passwords too, because it's like there are things that other people could know, like what high school did you graduate from? Yeah, me and 3,000 other people did. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Yes, the security questions in general. Chicano, I've forgotten a couple of times, and I'm like, well, yeah, I have two. Set your security question to answer to 120 characters or something. Yeah, just treat it. Yeah, there you go. Treat it like an extra password. Use LastPass to generate some, 128 character password and put it in there too. It's like, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, good point. Only luck is if you have to verify it over the phone. Yeah, that would be hard. It'd be like lowercase c. Parentheses, open bracket, %, exclamation point, uppercase R. Speaking of something like that, I was switching over. We talked a little bit about switching over Wi-Fi networks and how painful it is. It's pretty painful. I will say that Google has made some things easy. My Wemo devices have made some things easy, but man, my Nest devices, not easy. Not easy. Nest devices won't let you change their your Wi-Fi network outside of the device. So this was me for 20 minutes typing in a secure password, turning the dial, turn the dial, push in, 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 turn. How do I find special characters? It was the worst. And I'm like, this is terrible. It reminded me of the old The Onion, when The Onion was talking about the new keyboard for Apple, and it was a jog wheel. And people were like, this is so easy. And they were like writing text, and it was a jog wheel. That was me for like 20 minutes, like 2 nights ago, on one thermostat, and I have 3 because I reset all of my networks, totally secure random passwords, even for Wi-Fi, nothing I even know, so it doesn't even, there's nothing anyone could guess. And it was terrible. Anyways. Man, I wish there was an easy way to change Wi-Fi networks for all your devices. Like, I don't know, I feel like USG or something. And there's just too many interfaces to figure it out, and too many risks involved with doing that. But yeah, it was the worst. I was just like turning, a Nest thermostat, putting in, a 32 character random password. It was the worst. I was like, yeah, this is a great idea. My IoT network, yeah, we're going to have a 32 character random password network, because why wouldn't you? Like, who cares what it is? And yeah, that was, I'm glad it's done. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, halfway through I need a coffee break. Yeah, I hear you. Nest Wi-Fi devices are a pain. Yeah, I need a coffee break. I have a little bit of caffeine left in here. Let's crush it. Oh man, you caught a glimpse of no glasses. Why scammers require you to reset them and change the password? Stupidest design I've ever seen. Yeah, Wemo devices, Belkin Wemo, I thought were stupid design. I thought that's what I had to do. But fortunately, they have this thing called reset password in the settings, and if you press it, it'll re-advertise as, it'll broadcast its network. You just join it and put in a new password. I was like, this is fantastic. Like these cheap $20 things are so much easier than a Nest thermostat. I will admit though, the rest of the Google devices is so easy and so nice. So nice. Like my Chromecast, audio, super nice. I just basically go in the settings, say forget network, and then it'll find it again, and I put in the new password, boom, done. Join the same network it's on, and it was done. So super easy. The rest of the stuff, not so much. But why? If they make you hard reset the devices, that stinks. That's poor design. That is poor design. And maybe they just haven't gotten to it yet, and they're like, whatever. This is the way that people set it in the beginning. But I didn't want to do that for my devices because, I have no idea if the app will recognize it the next time I add it, if all the rules will apply. So yeah, Verinium, Seifel. Hello, hey, how's it going? Welcome. That looks like a newer name. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Codemus time. I was born my papa's son. Since there, been on the run. Put a hot dog on a bun. Pure code. Can you hear me, son? I can hear you, son. I can dig it. Thank you for that. Tegano, since some cameras are mounted, it's very hard to reach location. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Penguin Airlines, yes. Best emojis ever. Black VQ 35HR. Your experience with the Nest thermostat is the same reason I switched to Ecobee. Yeah, I've been considering it. So I don't know if it was pronounced Ecobee or Ecobee. I say Ecobee, but then I hear a lot of people pronounce it Ecobee, and I think that stems from people from who's from the UK saying Ecobee. I don't know what it is. I call it Ecobee. Anyways, yeah. I've considered it. I've definitely considered it, and now with Google's policy on or Nest's policy on not making that device available to other platforms, considering it even more. So yeah, when I move, I'll have to decide, like, leave them here with the house and maybe build that into the cost or bring them with me. I really don't want to like even think about taking them out and putting in a $20 one, because I don't want to do the wiring just for that. But anyways, yeah, definitely want to consider it. I think Honeywell has some decent ones now, kind of too. I don't know. But how do you like your Ecobee? How do you like it? I hear good things about it. The good things I hear about it are that you get the extra sensor that you can put in another room, which is super nice if you have rooms that are drafty or cold, or your bedroom that you want to make sure are the right temp. But then I hear the algorithm isn't the greatest between the two, because it's like I'm gonna take the two temperatures and average them, and then after that, like that's not super accurate. So curious about your experience. Have considered it for sure, and I thought I was I'm still pretty. I use a lot of Nest devices. I have carbon monoxide security, smoke detectors. But at the end of the day, they don't really. Even though they have an ecosystem, it's not, there aren't a ton of benefits to using both devices in the same ecosystem. At least for me and my Nest devices. It can determine if I'm home or not. So it can determine whether or not to adjust the thermostat, but I could do that with other devices too. I don't know. Anyways, and then my home alarm is that too. And so anyways, I just don't see, they're going to build an ecosystem, and I feel like they've kind of stopped now. They have cameras, which kind of plays into that too. But I feel like it's come to a screeching halt lately with Nest and what they're doing. Could be wrong. Maybe they're rebranding for a whole bunch of V2 stuff. But I'll admit, I love the devices, but I feel like they haven't innovated in a long time. I mean, they had to compete with Ring really quick, so they made their Nest Hello. And then they were trying to compete with Wise and make cameras. I mean, they made cameras before Wise, but I feel like they've kind of, I don't know, put on the brakes for some reason. Maybe it's something all brand new, and a month from now I'll be like, oh, that's why. The Wise, Decano, the Wise, there's no option to reset at all. You have to manually go to the camera, hold down the setup button, and go through the setup process again. Yeah, that's terrible user experience. But it's hard when it's mounted 20 feet up, and it's super hard to reach a location. Yeah, for sure. Penguin Airlines. Yeah, it would be nice if we could program our IoT with CM for network automation. Then we could set the new SSID, at one time. I totally agree. I almost wish there was a middleman or an orchestrator, right? I wish there was something to orchestrate all my wireless devices. Because you know what I would do? If I could orchestrate and automate all of my wired devices, I would totally change the password every day. If I could automate it for every device that I have with every machine, maybe every day is kind of, this is going into like a Radius server or something. I don't fully know how they work, but it sounds like it. If I could automate or orchestrate that, I'd change it weekly, just why not? But yeah, it's hard. It would be nice if there was something like that. I totally agree. That's a great idea. Vermium, Sifel, thanks. Vermium in Discord on YouTube. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining. HomeLab New, is anyone using protected management frames on their Wi-Fi network? Yeah, good question. I'm not. I don't think I am because I don't fully know what they are. Linux Ducks, for how long are you going to stream? Oh yeah, great question, because I've gone a long time today. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent, probably only a couple more minutes. I went on for a long time today, but man, there's so many great questions, and I can't get over like all of the costumes I can try on. I mean, after today, I can't really do this again until, I don't know, the next Halloween. Penguin Airlines, yeah, that's a reminder that I should put that uptime in there. I keep saying I'm gonna do it. And there's the banana. And Takano, you never told me what banana should do. Uptime for real, yo. Uptime. Okay, so uptime, since I don't have a bot in place, Techno Tim has been live for 2 hours, and I'll go 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2.5 hours. That's what I'll say. Because I was about 9 minutes late, maybe 10. Oh, never mind. I can easily see it on the view count. Next time. Oh, you can. Nice. I didn't know that. Black VQ35HR. My favorite feature is that I can add it to Home Assistant. Yeah, totally agree. That's what I was saying. Like with Nest devices, they totally, isolate, and they're building their silo, and they've stopped their Works with Nest program, which means things no longer work with Nest. There are some hacky ways around it, and you sign in with Google that captures your cookies and it'll refresh your cookies and keep you logged in behind the scenes, which I'm not going to do to make it work with Home Assistant. But yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of like, maybe next time, not Nest, we'll see. Black VQ35HR, it also does 95% of what Nest does, and there's an on-screen keypad to enter Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's what I need. I don't need the jog wheel. I need to rewatch that Onion video. It was so good. I'm talking about Apple's new innovative keyboard, and everyone was just loving it because it was Apple, and they were just like, "Oh, it's so easy. You just R S T L N E. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing Wheel of Fortune letters." Anyways, that was me for 25 minutes, and it was just not. I felt like I was on that video. But it was something by Google, not Apple, so yeah. Sigor, hey everyone, can't stay because I'm handing out candy, but want to stop and say hi. Thank you so much. Toshiba laptops can. Oh, nice. Veranium, Seifel, where are you from? From the United States. Yeah. Tell by the beard. Maybe you're talking to me. Codamus time. Manage a lot of signals? Question mark. Manage a lot of signals. I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about SSID, Wi-Fi management, passwords? Maybe? Yeah. Takano, Dorito. Yeah, man. Oh, I want some Doritos. I'm super hungry. I haven't eaten anything today, but I'm on a weird schedule ever since COVID. I don't know. Weekends anyways, I only eat one meal each day. It's kind of weird, but it's just what I've always done. And then now that's starting to happen during the week too. So just because of the weirdness of timing and work. And anyways, enough about me. But anyways, I'm super hungry. So when I see that Dorito, I can almost think of what it tastes like for sure. Go get food, Techno Tim. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Vernium Seifel, I'm from Sweden. Hey, welcome from the United States. If you're wondering why I have the beard on, mostly because it's Halloween. But at the same time, a reminder for people to get out and vote because it's super important. Super important election, as everyone is. But yeah, for sure. Not supported. What is this? Stinky cheese. All right, no route. When are the results from the U.S. elections getting published? Sorry, don't know about U.S. and politics. So on election day, they cover it live. Election day this year is the 3rd. Election day. I should know this, but I've already voted, so I don't know it. Come on, you guys. This guy, he doesn't even know when election day is this year. Is it the 3rd? Yeah, 3rd. So it's the 3rd. Yeah, I've already voted. So anyways, I don't know what the actual day is, which is kind of weird. I usually know it because I vote in person. Anyways, long story short, so election day is on the 3rd. That was null route. So on the 3rd, there's live coverage of it. But if you go on the 3rd at any, it'll be everywhere on the news, at least for us. Every website will have live coverage. And most news outlets will probably have some kind of ticker with every state, which way they went, and what they predict they're going to go. There'll be lots of predictions. So yeah, so the 3rd is when the festivities start for us, which that is Tuesday. So anyways, yeah, just a reminder. Yeah, thanks for asking too, because yeah, it's a good reminder for me. Even though, like I said, I've already voted, it's a good reminder for me of like, what day is it? I know it's Tuesday, but I didn't know the actual date. Yeah, so just a few days. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. President R. Wow, it doesn't work. Yeah. Skull, first Tuesday in November, first Monday in November, which this year is 11.3. I get married 3 days after the election. Easton, yeah, congratulations. Pre-congratulations on your wedding, because I probably won't see you then. Oh yeah, Tuesday is election day, so yeah, I'll have to figure out something stream-wise if that's something I'm gonna do, or let you guys vote. Anyways, long story short, I'll communicate that either on Twitter or Twitch. Not Twitch, Twitter or Discord, because I don't want to, interrupt. But anyways, Easton Co, yeah, congratulations, pre-congratulations on getting married. Hopefully it all goes well. I'm sure when you guys planned it, that, you know, things have probably changed then because of COVID. And so I'm sure you guys had to change your plans a lot, but I hope it goes absolutely the way you've imagined it, since you have started imagining it. This is getting weird, but I hope it goes well. And I know that this year is really different for a lot of people, especially something like a wedding that's, you know, usually a public celebration. Hopefully you guys get to celebrate it with the people you want to celebrate with. And yeah, so hope it goes well and hope it goes safe. So yeah, congratulations, pre-congratulations. Anyways, so you guys are asking like, hey, how long is the stream going to be? And I'm like, oh, you guys don't want me to stream anymore. I'm just kidding. Techno Tim, start to go in the dark spiral, starts a wedding, congrats. Yeah, I was trying to keep a positive spin on it, and just trying to, you know, empathize with what he might be going through right now with, you know, and, you know, for anyone who's planned anything in 2020 that didn't go the way they wanted it to go, I still hope it's great either way. So anyways, yeah, I didn't mean to go into a dark spiral. I was just trying to empathize with Easton and just say, I hope it's everything you imagined it would be, despite what's going on. So anyways, immediate family and closest friends in person, live stream on Facebook group for everyone else. Definitely different than you originally planned. Yeah, awesome that you're going to do that and still be able to be with your close family and friends. And so pre-congratulations to you. I have no segues from a wedding. How do I go from a wedding and COVID to talking about how to join Discord? There's no easy way except for just saying it. So thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate like everything today was awesome stream, turned out fantastic. I do apologize for Tuesday or Thursday that I didn't have the stream. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, but there might be times like that where I just kind of have to, just because of my commitments elsewhere. And then also, I do thank you so much for coming in here, for talking. I do apologize too for being late, but from that actually came some good. From that, I had to swap out a whole bunch of hardware, which gave me the awesome beard today, which is a great segue into Happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a safe holiday. Hope whatever you do is safe and fun. And at the same time, I hope you guys get out and vote, because Tuesday is election day. If you haven't voted already, please do. And go out and vote. That's all I'll say. So thank you so much. If you guys have any more questions for me, I know there were questions that came up and I said, hey, just join the Discord and we'll talk about it there. That's absolutely the place to get a hold of me pretty easily. And Twitter is too. I check those pretty often. I try to be as active as I can, and just know that I'm going to respond at some point in time. May not be right away, but it'll be as quick as I can. Just like all my YouTube videos, just like Discord, just like Twitter, I try to respond to everyone who has a question for me. So just know that I'm not ignoring you. And if I don't respond, give me another nudge, but also give me some time. So anyways, Decano, I think he posted a Discord link. Yes, he did. So you're encouraged to join. I would appreciate it if you would. I will be back on Tuesday, which is election day. So we'll figure that out and what that means to have a stream on election day. Decano, yeah, getting the lights right there at the end. Oh yeah, this is good. This is a good contrast. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a nice rest of the weekend. Have a great Halloween. And have a safe Halloween. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And as always, Be good to each other. Take care.